There's a fire that lives inside the heart of every person who wants more out of life. It's not about being flashy or famous. It's not about titles, trophies, or applause. It's something deeper, something primal. It's hunger. Hunger is that internal drive that doesn't let you sleep on your potential. It wakes you up earlier, keeps you up later, and doesn't let you stay where you are. Not when you know there's more inside you. Hunger doesn't wait for the right time. Hunger creates the time. It doesn't ask for favorable conditions. It grows in the middle of storms, setbacks, and silence. Hunger is what separates the ones who try from the ones who become. You can be smart, talented, even well-connected, but if you're not hungry, you'll sit on gifts that were meant to change the world. You'll waste opportunities that someone else is praying for. Talent without hunger is wasted. But hunger, raw, undeniable hunger, can make up for what you lack in resources, support, or background. When you're hungry, you don't need to be told what to do. You find a way. You study longer, train harder, fail more often, and keep moving. You don't look for easy, because easy doesn't feed the fire. The ones who are truly hungry, they understand this purpose doesn't show up fully formed. It's discovered in the doing. And hunger is the fuel that keeps you doing even when you can't see the full picture yet. Even when you're tired, even when no one believes in you. Hunger doesn't care about your current situation. It's committed to your future. There are people out there with half your talent, but twice your hunger, and they're winning. Why? Because hunger will take you places comfort never could. Hunger makes you uncomfortable. It pushes you. It forces you to grow. You can't be hungry and stay in the same place. You can't be hungry and wait around for someone else to open the door for you. Hungry people knock the door down. And if there's no door, they carve a path through the wall. Hunger makes you resourceful. It makes you persistent. Hunger rewires your mind to stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what can I learn if it doesn't? A lot of people want success. They want fulfillment, legacy, greatness, but they want it on discount. They want it without the sacrifice, without the sweat, without the stretching. That's not hunger. That's wishful thinking. Hunger doesn't hope. It acts. Hunger doesn't talk. It trains. Hunger doesn't coast. It climbs. And every step you take from hunger sharpens your sense of purpose. Purpose isn't always loud. It's not always grand or glamorous. But when it's fueled by hunger, it becomes unstoppable because you're not just chasing success. You're chasing alignment. Alignment with who you were created to be. You start moving from external pressure to internal calling, from chasing validation to becoming undeniable, from reacting to circumstances to building something bigger than circumstances could ever control. There's something sacred about hunger. It humbles you, but it also sharpens you. You start learning how to listen to your instincts. You start moving with a kind of urgency that can't be faked. You start paying attention to things others miss because you're not in it for the surface wins. You're in it for depth, for impact, for meaning. Hunger makes you wake up every day with a sense of unfinished business. Not because you're ungrateful for what you have, but because you know there's more work to be done, more people to reach, more mountains to climb. You won't always feel motivated. You won't always feel confident. But when you're hungry, you don't need perfect conditions. You just need purpose. And purpose is what hunger reveals. Hunger sharpens the vision. It cuts away the distractions. It silences the noise of the world telling you to settle. Hunger doesn't let you forget who you are or what you're here to do. Comfort feels good in the moment. It's warm. It's familiar. It gives you the illusion of control, the illusion of safety. But here's the truth. Comfort is not your friend when you're chasing greatness. Comfort is the quiet seduction that keeps you average. It lulls you into routines that feel safe, but keep you stagnant. It makes you prioritize ease over elevation. And nothing extraordinary grows in ease. Greatness doesn't live in the familiar. It lives in the stretch, in the discomfort, in the decision to step out of what's known and into what's necessary. Comfort tells you, you've done enough. Greatness whispers, you're just getting started. Comfort says, you don't need to risk anything. Greatness says, everything you want is on the other side of risk. There's a war happening every day between the part of you that craves safety and the part of you that's built for expansion. You can't win both. You have to choose. And most people, they choose comfort, not because they're weak, but because they've been trained to seek relief instead of growth, to avoid pain instead of learning from it, to chase approval instead of purpose. Comfort disguises itself as success. Sometimes it even shows up looking like achievement. But here's the tricky success without growth turns into a trap. When you stop growing, you start shrinking. And when you stop challenging yourself, you start betraying your potential. Comfort says, you've arrived. But greatness doesn't have a finish line. Greatness is a constant evolution, a daily decision. And every time you choose to stay where it's safe, you delay your own transformation. The enemy of greats isn't failure. The enemy is staying comfortable after small wins. People don't stop growing because they fail. They stop growing because they succeed and then get stuck trying to protect what they've built instead of risking more to become who they were meant to be. Comfort builds walls. Greatness breaks them. And if you want to keep moving forward, you've got to learn how to live in that space where things don't feel easy, where you're not sure, where you're stretched. That's where growth happens. That's where the edge is. Your comfort zone is designed to protect your current self, but your calling, your potential, your greatness, they live outside that zone. That's why it feels uncomfortable to step into them, because you're leaving behind who you were to become who you're meant to be. It's supposed to feel strange. It's supposed to feel scary. Growth and fear travel together. If you don't feel at least a little uncomfortable, you're not growing. You're maintaining. People talk about discipline, about habits, about consistency. But none of those things matter if you're not willing to leave comfort behind. Because discipline doesn't start in your schedule. It starts in your mind. It starts with the decision to do what's hard even when easy is available. It starts with choosing the workout when your bed is calling, making the call when fear tells you to stay silent, showing up to practice when no one's watching. That's the grind greatness demands. That's the rejection of comfort. Every champion, every creator, every person who ever did something remarkable, they had to break up with comfort. They had to say no to easy answers, short-term pleasure, and the trap of doing just enough. They had to embrace hard conversations, long hours, painful lessons. Not because they enjoyed the pain, but because they respected what the pain was building. Greatness is born in those invisible moments where comfort would have said, stop, but purpose said, keep going. Comfort keeps you thinking small. It convinces you that the life you have is all there is. But greatness knows better. Greatness demands that you rise above average, that you confront your limitations, that you grow past the stories that tell you to settle. And that growth doesn't come with a map. It comes with fire, a fire that burns through excuses, a fire that tests you and transforms you. That fire lives just outside your comfort zone. And if you're willing to lean into it, to walk through the fear, to endure the resistance, you'll find out what you're truly made of. In a world that constantly seeks instant gratification, where likes, shares, and applause often seem to define success, discipline becomes the quiet, unseen force that separates those who achieve greatness from those who simply chase recognition. Discipline is the backbone of every success story, the engine that keeps you moving forward when the crowd has stopped cheering, when the spotlight fades, and when nobody is watching. Applause feels good. It's a high, a rush of validation, but it is fleeting. Discipline is steady, unshakable, and it builds a foundation that no temporary celebration can replace. Many people spend too much time chasing applause, trying to get recognition for their efforts before the work is truly done. They want the praise before the progress. They want the spotlight before the preparation. They want the standing ovation without the practice sessions in the dark, without the early mornings and late nights, without the moments when everything inside screams to quit, but they keep going anyway. But the truth is, applause isn't what drives champions. It's discipline, the daily commitment to your goals regardless of external approval. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up on the days you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work even when it's boring, difficult, or thankless. Discipline teaches you that real progress is often invisible to the outside world. The hours you spend practicing your craft alone, the sacrifices you make in silence, the times you resist temptation and stay focused. These moments don't earn applause, but they shape your future. Discipline transforms good intentions into results and dreams into reality. The applause will come, but it will come after the work. Too many people give up because they expect praise too soon. They get discouraged when their efforts go unnoticed. They lose faith when nobody claps for the struggle behind the scenes. But those who are truly destined to win learn to be motivated by something stronger than applause. They're driven by vision, purpose, and an inner fire that doesn't rely on others' approval. Discipline is the muscle that keeps that fire burning. It keeps you consistent when enthusiasm fades, when motivation dips, and when the crowd's noise turns to silence. Think about the greatest achievers you admire. They didn't get to the top because of moments of recognition. They got there because of years of discipline. They had to master the art of delaying gratification. They had to learn that success isn't about looking good on stage, but about putting in the hard work every single day, no matter who is watching. Discipline requires humility, the willingness to do what's necessary, not what's glamorous. It requires patience, the understanding that success is a marathon, not a sprint. And it requires faith that every small step, every disciplined effort is building toward a larger purpose. Discipline also guards against the distractions that can pull you off course. In today's world, there are endless temptations to seek shortcuts, to look for quick wins, to give in to comfort or excuses. Discipline gives you the strength to say no to procrastination, to negative influences, to instant pleasure that comes at the cost of your long-term goals. It trains your mind to focus on what matters most. It builds habits that become the foundation for sustainable success. When discipline becomes your default mode, you no longer rely on fleeting moments of applause to push you forward. Instead, you rely on your own commitment and standards. This commitment is not easy. Discipline demands sacrifice. It demands consistency when the results are slow. It demands resilience when you face setbacks and failures. It requires you to push through discomfort, boredom, and frustration. But this is where greatness is forged. Through consistent action, even when it's hard, even when it's unseen. Discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones because it builds character, perseverance, and strength that applause alone can never provide. It's important to recognize that discipline doesn't mean doing everything perfectly every day. It means being relentless in your efforts to improve, to show up, and to keep going no matter what. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about the long game, understanding that every decision to stay disciplined compounds over time, creating momentum that propels you toward your goals. When you choose discipline over applause, you stop chasing external validation and start creating your own standard of excellence. You develop an internal compass that guides your actions. You become self-reliant, motivated by the knowledge that your future depends on what you do today, not on how others react. Discipline gives you control over your destiny because it shifts your focus from what others think to what you are capable of. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It's the invisible force that turns ambition into action. It keeps you grounded when the applause fades and ensures that when your moment comes, you're ready, not just to shine, but to sustain that success for the long haul. Life does not hand out success on a silver platter. It does not pave a smooth road for those who dare to dream. Instead, it tests, challenges, and breaks you down over and over again. But it's not the tests themselves that define you. It's how you respond to them. Resilience is the force that shapes your destiny. It's the ability to bounce back, to stand firm, and to keep moving forward even when everything inside you wants to stop. Without resilience, dreams remain just that, dreams. But with resilience, those dreams begin to take form, to breathe, to live. Every success story you admire is built on a foundation of setbacks and failures. Nobody wakes up already victorious. What separates the person who wins from the person who gives up is resilience, the capacity to face rejection, criticism, and disappointment without losing hope or momentum. It is the courage to get up when you've been knocked down, to keep fighting when the odds are stacked against you. Resilience turns obstacles into stepping stones. It turns pain into power. It transforms moments of defeat into the fuel for a greater comeback. Imagine your life as a battle. The battlefield is littered with challenges, losses, mistakes, betrayals, and unexpected detours. Each challenge threatens to stop you, to drain your energy, and to steal your vision. But resilience is the armor that protects you. It's the grit that pushes you beyond your limits. The deeper your resilience, the harder it is to be defeated. Resilience is not a trait you're born with. It's a muscle you build. You strengthen it each time you refuse to give up. Each time you decide to move forward despite pain or uncertainty. Resilience teaches you to embrace failure as a necessary part of the process. Failure is not the enemy. It's a teacher. It shows you what doesn't work, where you need to improve, and how strong you really are. Without resilience, failure feels like the end. But with resilience, failure becomes just a chapter in your story, not the final page. It's the resilience to face failure head on that transforms ordinary people into legends. It's what allows you to learn, adjust, and rise again stronger than before. In the face of adversity, resilience gives you clarity. When life throws chaos and confusion your way, resilience helps you stay focused on your purpose. It prevents you from being overwhelmed by fear or doubt. Instead, resilience anchors you in your vision and reminds you why you started. It's the steady hand that guides you through the storm and the quiet voice that says, keep going. Resilience shifts your mindset from, why me, to try me. It empowers you to take control of your story, no matter how difficult the chapters may be. Resilience also builds confidence, real unshakable confidence. When you survive hardships and keep moving forward, you develop a deep trust in yourself. You know you've faced the worst and you're still standing. This kind of confidence isn't about arrogance or entitlement. It's about knowing your capacity to endure, to adapt, and to conquer. It's the inner strength that no external circumstance can shake. Resilience gives you the power to stare down fear, rejection, and failure without backing down. Your destiny is not determined by how many times you fall, but by how many times you rise. The path to greatness is rarely a straight line. It's filled with curves, detours, and dead ends. But resilience allows you to navigate those twists with courage and grace. It teaches you that setbacks are not signals to stop, but opportunities to grow. Each time you pick yourself up, you get closer to your breakthrough. You get closer to the person you were created to be. Building resilience requires mindset shifts and daily commitment. It means developing patience because progress often happens behind the scenes. It means nurturing hope, even when the future looks uncertain. It means surrounding yourself with people who believe in your potential, especially when you struggle to believe in yourself. Resilience is cultivated in the small decisions you make every day. The decision to try again, to stay positive, to keep working. These decisions add up, creating momentum that shapes your destiny. There will be moments when your resilience is tested like never before, when it feels easier to quit than to continue, when the weight of failure and disappointment threatens to crush your spirit. Those are the moments that define you. They separate those who are destined to win from those who are destined to give in. The difference is resilience, the refusal to surrender, the commitment to the journey no matter how hard the road gets. Resilience creates destiny because it turns pain into progress. It turns challenges into opportunities. It turns setbacks into setups for comebacks. It's the invisible force behind every breakthrough, every success story, and every legacy. And when you commit to building resilience, you're not just surviving, you're becoming unstoppable. Every moment you are faced with choices. Some seem small, insignificant even. What to eat, what to wear, whether to scroll on your phone or pick up a book. Others feel monumental. Whether to quit or keep going, to believe in yourself or give in to doubt, to stay stuck or push forward. These choices, large and small, invisible and obvious, shape the trajectory of your life far more than luck, talent, or circumstance ever will. The truth is simple yet profounding. Your choices determine your outcome. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external forces for where you find yourself. The economy, the environment, your upbringing, the people around you, all of these play a role, but they do not define your destiny. What defines your destiny is how you respond to these forces. It's the choices you make every single day that create momentum towards success or keep you trapped in cycles of limitation. The power to change your life lies not in waiting for perfect conditions, but in making deliberate, courageous choices despite imperfection. Choice is the gateway to empowerment. When you realize that your outcome is a product of your decisions, you reclaim control. Suddenly, you're no longer a victim of circumstance, but a creator of your reality. This awareness is liberating, but also challenging. It means you must take responsibility for where you are and where you want to go. It means you can't blame others or make excuses. It means looking in the mirror and admitting that your future depends on the actions you take right now. Every great achievement is the sum of countless choices aligned toward a vision. Behind every successful person is a series of decisions to say yes to opportunity, no to distractions, and yes again to persistence. These choices build habits, and habits build character. Character creates destiny. When you make the choice to prioritize your goals over comfort, to face fear rather than run from it, you are laying the foundation for victory. Conversely, when you choose procrastination, self-doubt, or negativity, you are building barriers to your own success. Sometimes choice feels like a burden because it comes with uncertainty. You don't always know which path will lead to the best outcome. That's why many people hesitate, freeze, or settle for less. But choosing is better than stagnation. Even when the path is unclear, action moves you forward. Choice is the engine of progress. It breaks the chains of passivity and opens doors to new possibilities. And every choice, even mistakes, carries lessons that refine your future decisions. Choice is also about what you allow into your mind and life. The people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, the thoughts you entertain, all of these are choices that influence your mindset and energy. Choosing positivity, growth, and empowerment fuels your potential. Choosing negativity, doubt, and limitation drains it. The quality of your choices directly impacts the quality of your life. When you decide to be intentional with your focus and your associations, you create an environment where greatness can thrive. The power of choice extends to your attitude. You may not control everything that happens, but you control how you interpret and respond to it. Choosing optimism over pessimism, resilience over defeat, faith over fear. These mental decisions shape your reality. The difference between someone who overcomes adversity and someone who succumbs to it is often this choice of mindset. You can't always change your circumstances, but you can always change your outlook. And your outlook colors every choice you make afterward. Sometimes the toughest choices are about letting go. Letting go of toxic relationships, bad habits, limiting beliefs, or comfort zones. These choices require courage because they mean stepping into the unknown. But they are necessary steps on the path to growth and greatness. Choosing to release what no longer serves you creates space for new opportunities, new people, and new versions of yourself. The choice to evolve is a powerful declaration that you are committed to your highest potential. Your destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. Every success story is built on decisions made in the face of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. You don't have to wait for clarity or perfect timing. You only have to decide to start, to persist, to keep choosing growth every day. The ripple effect of your choices extends beyond you, influencing the people around you and shaping the legacy you leave behind. When you choose wisely, you don't just change your life, you change the world. Choice is the ultimate act of personal power. It's the conscious decision to take control of your story, to steer your life toward the future you desire. And while you can't always control what happens to you, you can always control the choices you make in response. Your outcome is not predetermined. It's created by the decisions you commit to right now. Today and every day thereafter, greatness is not a gift reserved for a chosen few. It is a destiny earned by those who hunger deeply, who reject comfort, and who choose discipline over applause. It is forged through resilience, shaped by every choice made in the face of challenge and uncertainty. Hunger fuels purpose. It drives us beyond limits and lights the fire inside. Comfort tempts us to settle, but greatness demands that we step into discomfort and keep pushing forward. Discipline transforms fleeting motivation into lasting achievement, while resilience carries us through setbacks and trials, proving that failure is never final. Ultimately, the power to define your future lies in the choices you make every day. When you embrace hunger, reject ease, commit to discipline, cultivate resilience, and make purposeful choices, you don't just chase greatness. You become unstoppable, destined to win. Your journey starts now.